The Wiltern started off, it was called the Warner and then the Western. It was the premier house for Warner Brothers back in the 30s. It's a beautiful, beautiful building, and it's got so much history to it. There's something magical about working in a space like that. And obviously, working in a space like that has its drawbacks, the tall ceilings. So having the best equipment in there makes things a lot easier. Generally speaking, the type of artist that comes through the Wiltern is either um, a large scale artist that wants to have a more intimate show, or an artist that's on their way up. We're about 2,800 standing capacity, and seated, we're about 1,800. We'll see a lot of the artists that are on their way up. I mean, we've seen all of them. Chappell Roan, Billie Eilish, like Adele on her way up came through the Wiltern, which was a lot of fun. And then we'll see like sometimes the older school guys, like with the Black Crows. You know, we'll see like a cover band. We'll see politicians, we'll see comedians, and we'll see these potentially major artists. We had the Streamer Awards a couple days ago. That was a massive award show. We did the Celine fashion show a little while back. A major production, huge. For weeks they had the place rented. So yeah, we're all over the place. We had needed a new system in there for a very long time. A lot of the challenges are like I was saying earlier, they're acoustic challenges. It's difficult to capture that room properly, especially with the system we had in there before. It was a dated system. It was the old Vertex, the old 89, like a 25-year-old. I mean, they were okay at the time, but it was difficult. And the consoles that we had running them, which were great, just didn't made it harder. We wanted it to be able to handle more than what the previous desk consoles could handle, definitely, because there were times where with like the Midas we were maxed out. So we definitely wanted that. For me, I think more importantly was just the functionality. It was just so much easier to program an S6L, especially for somebody that's coming in off of, you know, you're coming off a bus and you get in and, you know, not to bash the other consoles, they're all great, but for me, there's a familiarity, but even if there isn't, there's an ease of use. It's like I have one of our guys who had never touched a SC48 before coming into the venue. Within 10 minutes was, you know, soft patching. I mean, doing everything that you really need to do to get the show running. And so that type of functionality is, I personally don't think that there's an equal to that. And so that makes it for especially in a venue where you've got at any time like the Streamer Awards, there's a million different things going on at the same time. People are coming up to you saying, "Hey, I need this up there, I need this over there, and I need this." And so to organize that all with any other console, I feel would be challenging. But with an S6, it's just, oh, no problem. Let me move this over here. Let me put this over here. Let me patch this over here. There's just no. I don't think that there's anything better than that, especially for an event. I mean, for a venue. Sorry, for a venue. We got an L Acoustics rig in there. We got the new L2s, and we started with talking with L Acoustics. And you know, our production manager Mike Sutherland, he was talking to me. He's like, "What do you think? Do you think it'll work?" I go, "They're great. They sound great. You know, I know that they sound great." Before we got the PA, we had an S6L rented. And so through those 89, so it's the same PA system. I remember opening up my tuning song, right? And just like it was effortless. I mean, it was just like opening up and you were already like 99% of the way there. And those were through the 89. Those were through it's a 20-year-old PA system. So and everybody was just blown away at how amazing it sounded, is because we've really only heard our desks, and when it's a guest, we don't really know what's going on. You know, we don't really know what's going on in their desk, what they're doing, or what tools that they have. So it was really fun to hear that just off the bat, and yeah. So anyway, but in August we did the install, and all of it together, it just made for a really, really great combination. I think the console and that PA go very well together. It's been a very smooth transition. We had an SC48 in there before, and a Midas Pro 2. And so most of the guys kind of already knew how to use the S, or that had a familiarity with the software. They wanted to have to be able to just come in on an off day and just build a little template or build a mix. So we did a little, you know, I remember it was a really cool band actually, and I just tracked them so that everybody then runs it through the PA and they can listen to as if they're mixing a lot. You know, it's virtual sound check, so it's a phenomenal tool. It can be intimidating being getting in front of a PA like that, or even getting behind a monitor rig and having everybody yelling and, hey, I want this, hey, I want that. And so, especially for the younger guys that are learning, it's a great, great, great tool to help them, at least get like, get something dialed, get an EQ dialed, or get a template ready so that when it does, because you know how it is, I got 15 to 20 minutes, at most 30 minutes to get them dialed. And that's most of that time is given to the monitors, right? They're going to get their monitors dialed. So to have somebody out front have kind of something ready to go, it's so helpful. So we break it down and set it up a lot because we've got like 3 positions in the house that we use. And so and it's constantly changing. If it's a comedy, it's the 5th position. If it's a concert, it's the 4th position. We did American Idol a little while back. That's usually the 3rd position. And so it's constantly, it's moving. The position is moving, and so is the console. Definitely the snapshot. I mean, it's just it makes it almost, it's like effortless. It's making this show that's there's, it's not a difficult show, but there's a million little things going on all at the same time and at different times. So with the snapshots, it just makes it just effortless. The show caller says, "Hey, I need you to turn that down just a little bit, but just for that part." So I was like, "Okay, no problem. Let me just do that real quick, and then I'll just recall that," and it makes it so simple. Again, not to say that obviously you could do that with other desks, but it's nowhere near as easy, and it's simplified to the point where it's like it doesn't really take a lot of effort to get started on that stuff, and I think that's just great. The tools that we have now are helping a lot, like a lot. We've got the functionality, the ease of use, having engineers come in and really be able to explain to them, or at least get a template up and running for them within seconds, and that they don't even have to ask you, you know what I mean? And so it allows room for other issues that will pop up at every concert and at every event. Something's not working, this amplifier's not working, we can focus on other things instead of trying to show the guest engineer for the 3rd time how to, soft patch something over. Between that and all of those, just the quality of sound, it was a major improvement from what we had before.